ZTE Corp is estimating losses of at least 20 billion yuan $3.1 billion from the U.S. technology ban that has halted major operations as clients pull out of deals and expenses mount, people familiar with the matter said. However, the telecoms gear and smartphone maker is hopeful of striking a deal soon and already has a plan in place, dubbed T0, to swing idled factories into action. Within hours once Washington agrees to lift its 7-year moratorium on purchases of U.S. chips and components, said the people, who asked not to be identified talking about private negotiations. Shenzhen, China-based ZTE depends on U.S. components, such as chips from Qualcomm Inc., to build its smartphones and networking gear. The ban, for breaching terms of a settlement over sanction-breaking sales to Iran, has all but mothballed China's second-largest telecoms gear maker and become entangled in a trade dispute between the world's two largest economies. U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday said he was reconsidering U.S. penalties as a favor to Chinese President Xi Jinping, and might instead fine the company more than $1 billion. The president, Xi, asked me to look into that, and I am doing it, Trump told reporters at the White House. When I looked at it I said, you know, they could pay a big price without necessarily damaging all of these American companies, which they are, because you know you're talking about tremendous amounts of money and jobs, he said. By shutting them down, we're hurting a lot of American companies, really good American companies. Asked about the company, he said there is no deal yet with China, but it was not clear whether he was speaking specifically about ZTE or about broader trade disputes. However, Trump faces intensifying opposition in the U.S. Congress to any retreat from the ZTE penalties. 14 Republican senators joined 13 Democratic and Independent senators and wrote a public letter to Trump on Tuesday urging him not to soften the company's punishment for serial and premeditated violations of U.S. sanctions against Iran and North Korea. The U.S. action has spooked potential clients during the crucial first-half IT spending season and even prompted some to renege on agreed deals, the people said. ZTE is shelling out an estimated 80 million to 100 million yuan in daily operational expenses alone while most of its 75,000 employees sit idle, the people said. However, it is hopeful of ramping up swiftly once a settlement is reached. Thousands of workers biding their time in the company's dormitories stand ready to flood its factories once a green light is given, the people said. It is unclear what ZTE can do to prompt a reprieve, though it is expected to reshuffle executives and possibly its board. However, Chinese government officials are undertaking negotiations on behalf of ZTE, and the company, which does not have much influence in the process, would have to accept the terms of any settlement reached between Beijing and Washington. ZTE first ran into trouble in 2016 for violating laws restricting the sale of U.S. technology to Iran. An agreement last year called for the company to pay as much as $1.2 billion and penalize the workers involved, in what was the largest criminal fine for the U.S. Department of Justice in an export controller sanctions case.